Welcome to NishaTube Current Affairs. Today's topic is the gig economy. This is an essential topic for UPSC GS3 economy. And now without any further ado, let's begin. Here I've listed several companies, corporations, Uber, Swiggy, Dunzo, and Ola. And as you all may already know, these companies have become a ubiquitous part of our lives. Everywhere we go, these companies exist in some form or the other. If we need to grab a quick ride to our school or campus, we book an Uber or an Ola. If we want to order in from a restaurant, we use Swiggy. If we need groceries ASAP, we use Dunzo. What we don't know is that all of these companies are part of this new labor market known as the gig economy. So what is the gig economy? It's a new labor market which is based on temporary hiring or contracted labor. It can be contrasted with full-time employment or the formal sector of employment. Employers employ people for a short period of time, a predetermined period of time, to complete defined tasks or work. And after a specific deadline, they're no longer a part of the company. They're paid for their labor inputs and they leave. It's as simple as that. Contracts can last for as short as 1 week or even 1 year. Why has the gig economy boomed so much recently? This is because there are several perks that belong to both the employer and the employees themselves. The employers enjoy this new gig economy because they can cut down on labor costs significantly. If we think about it, employing a person full-time entails several higher CTC or cost to the company. They have to pay them monthly salaries, which are usually higher than the wages paid to gig workers. They also have to give paid leaves and insurances. They have to pay them provident fund and pensions once they retire, so that's part of their social security. They also give government holidays, so it's definitely hindering productivity, and it's also entailing higher costs to the company. So that's why the employers are applauding and welcoming this gig economy with open arms because they enjoy this ability to cut down costs. This also means that the workers themselves are being exploited, and we'll look at that later. What are the perks associated with the laborers or the workers themselves? First of all, the gig economy has no confinement on work hours. You don't have to work 9 to 5, wear a suit and tie. You can work based on your own terms. You can wake up at 10 a.m. and work till 12 a.m. It depends on you and what your lifestyle looks like. As long as you finish the daily tasks that are put forward or promulgated by the company, you're good. So that's one thing that people enjoy about the gig economy. They have flexibility in their lifestyles. Secondly, the work from home culture has also been adopted significantly in gig economies. So they're able to work in the leisure of staying within their household, not having to leave the house, avoiding any safety issues, and being secure and calm in general. The third benefit is that the employees can also work on moonlighting, or they can maintain a side hustle while working in a full-time job. So if we think about it, most of the Swiggy delivery agents or Uber drivers, a few of them may not be, but by and large, they usually either are holding a full-time job or they're pursuing higher education, post-graduation. And this Uber or Zomato or Swiggy, it's a side hustle to gain some extra cash on the side to maintain their daily expenses. So it's enabling side hustling and moonlighting, which enables skill development as well. The next benefit is that it allows women empowerment, because a lot of women who give birth to children feel confined and they feel that restricted, that they can't leave the household anymore. But since the gig economy is largely based on the work from home culture, they can stay within the limits of their house and be productive and contribute to the national output. Also, retired people, senior citizens, can join gig economy jobs to socialize and not feel as left out. So it's helping old people, women, teenagers, college-going students, and the working class in general. Now you may be thinking that the gig economy sounds like a bed of roses. It sounds like it's perfect, but that's where you're wrong. There are also several driving forces of the gig economy. After the COVID-19 pandemic, people were focused on skill development, and a lot of people were laid off from their full-time jobs, so they resorted to joining the gig employee workspace. Secondly, MNCs and startups are seeking cheaper labor because the ultimate goal of any MNC is to minimize investment and maximize profits. So they are looking for flexible laborers because they can exploit them. They don't have to pay complete wages, they don't have to pay salaries, and they're getting higher productivity and more efficient workers. Startups are also seeking cheaper labor because in the nascent stage, their ability to invest their capital is relatively lower. So in the budding stage, they require cheap labor. So that's why they're hiring flexibly. They're hiring gig workers to maintain their labor requirements. So on account of the pandemic, the digital revolution, and the requirements of MNCs and startups, these have been key driving forces of the gig economy. So now let's look at the cons of the gig economy. And now we'll understand that the gig economy is not a bed of roses. It's not perfect. So, first of all, according to the government, all these gig jobs are not considered under the formal sector of employment. So the formal sector includes blue-collar and white-collar jobs, which are certified by the government, monitored by the government, and also these companies pay taxes to the governments, as well as the workers. So they are defined by the government as companies that pay taxes and are closely monitored to prevent employee exploitation. Essentially, the gig economy is not considered as part of the formal sector because the workers don't have defined working hours. They're not working 9 to 5. They're not working 8 hours a day. But apart from this, everything else about the gig economy can be classified under the formal sector. The employees pay taxes, as do the companies, and this is why gig workers are demanding equal labor rights or employee rights. Another key distinguishing factor between formal and informal sector is that formal sector workers enjoy employment rights. So they are allowed to enjoy these perks such as paid leaves, holidays, and they also guarantee social security, which is pension after the age of 60 or retirement. However, these gig workers are being exploited on account of not being classified as the formal sector. They are being exploited by no job security, lack of fixed working hours, no paid leave, or holidays in general. See, the formal sector works on the basis of salaries. At the end of the month, regardless of your time and efforts towards the company, you get your salary in your hand, in your bank account. Whereas gig workers and any informal sector workers in general, they don't enjoy this luxury. They don't enjoy this facility. Depending on how many hours they're able to spend on the company, that's how much they get paid. If one day a gig employee worker works for 11 hours non-stop and the wage for each hour is 100 rupees, he will be able to make 1,100 rupees for that day. However, if the next day his family is suffering from an emergency or he has to attend to some event and he only is able to work 2 hours, then he'll only make 200 hours that day. So the distribution of the wages isn't uniform. And this is another distinguishing factor between the formal sector and informal sector. So the gig economy workers want to be classified as the formal sector so they can also enjoy these benefits. Because after 60, they lack social security and they have to keep working for the rest of their lives to provide for their families. This is unfair as in terms of skill, they're more or less equal to most of the formal sector jobs. So finally, we're getting into the current affairs part of this topic. Recently, the Union Labor Ministry has decided to conduct sessions on the future of this gig economy and the future of this sector and this labor market and how to take further steps on classifying them as either the formal sector or creating a new government body to monitor these economic activities. Because one key factor of the formal sector is that they're monitored by the labor ministry. So maybe there could be a new ministry or new statutory body that could monitor these gig economy activities. Maybe a gig ministry or something like that. So that's why in the next coming months, they're going to hold sessions on how to take this forward, because the gig economy is definitely here to stay. 56% of new jobs are arising from the gig economy. So we have to embrace and accept this fact and take things forward and ensure that they're not being exploited and they enjoy equal rights as the formal sector workers. So that concludes this video, and I also got a quick MCQ which might crop up on the upcoming prelims exam on June 5th. So we're given 3 statements and we're asked to find which of the above is correct. So the first statement is, this type of economy has been on the increase in many countries in the past few years. In this, more people working as freelancers. This economy provides workers the option for hyper-flexible way of work. This economy undermines the traditional economy of full-time workers who rarely change positions and instead focus on a lifetime career. So clearly, based on this video, we can easily answer this question without even giving it a second thought. So, despite the ease, I'm just going to allow you to type your answers in the comment box below. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you had a great learning experience, and until the next one, this is Ninja Tube signing off. Peace.